Micah, speaking of him, I know it's 111th and everyone has their job, but what is the impact of the defense, especially in the back end, if Matt can't go against this offense in particular?
Obviously, this is an electric offense, been for years. Top players in the league at their positions, top offense in the league. Obviously, this been to multiple Super Bowls. I can go on and on about their offense, but I think at the end of the day, we saw last week that our backups always got to be ready, and if that's the case, then it's next man in.
Who's the bigger threat, Travis Kelce or Tyreek Hill?
Both a huge threat. Huge threat. I think Kelsey's been doing it for a long time, just working the middle. I think him and 15 just have, they can read each other's minds. They've been doing it for a long time about where to go, what to do, based off leverage of the players, all that type of stuff. And then obviously Hill can just take the top off any defense. I always got to know where he's at any given time, whether if it's down the field, behind the line of scrimmage, anything, to be honest.
It kind of seems like so far in these games, if you look at it, if an opposing defense limits one of their production, it seems like the other one has a big day. Have you kind of seen that looking at film?
Oh, yeah. That's what happens when you have, a two-headed monster, and not just two for them. They got some other weapons too, some other receivers that can get it done. So, it's just once again, it's the NFL. You gotta challenge each and every week, and this is the next challenge that we have.
Micah, you talked after the game this past week about the emotional lift that getting fourth down stops can be for a defense.
Mm-hmm.
You guys have done that pretty well here early this season. I talked to Jerry yesterday, and he had mentioned that Leslie talked to you guys, maybe it was in the spring, maybe at the beginning of camp, about being prepared for those situations in the sense that more and more offenses might go for it.
Yeah.
Have you seen that? I mean, I guess, the results
For sure.
speak for themselves there.
I feel like every game we've had multiple fourth down stops, and they're going for it a lot. I mean, obviously you see around the league, it's a statistically, they talk about going for it on fourth down and all that type of stuff. You have a better chance of getting it. I don't know, all that type of stuff. But, I feel like we just got to go out there and bow up on fourth down, and we've been able to make some stops so far, and hopefully we can continue that.
What's it like for you as a defensive player when the shoe's on the other foot and your offense is out there in those situations where maybe they're going to go for it? And Jerry said that you guys are rooting them on because it's also in a way a vote of confidence for you. In the chance that the offense doesn't get it, you guys are left on maybe a short field, but that's a vote of confidence to the defense to go for it.
Yeah, for sure. Obviously when the offense is going for it on fourth down and we're all standing up. We just always yelling, defense, get ready, just in case they don't. But I think that it's definitely this game's about momentum, and when you can convert on fourth down, it's huge, no matter what team. So obviously we're rooting for our offense to do it, and if they don't get it, then like I said last week, we're always trying to defend a blade of grass, and if they get good field position out of it, then we gotta force field goals or takeaways.
You're a prideful guy. How much of those two losses to Kansas City stick in your craw?
Anytime you lose in this league, it's painful. Just because each and every week you put a lot of effort and hard work into the game plan, into practicing, into all that stuff. Losing in the AFC Championship game is not ideal. Hurts a little more. Just because I understand. Obviously, this is year 9. Been to that was my third championship game. Haven't made it to the Super Bowl yet. I know how hard it is to make it back. So that's painful. But anytime you lose in this league, it stings a little bit, and always out there trying to chase a win.
This team is the team that everybody says is standing in your way.
Is that what everyone's saying?
Well, that's what you guys were saying at the end of last year. The Kansas City Chiefs are standing in your way.
That was the team. That was the team that beat us to go to the Super Bowl. So yes, they were standing in our way. But I think this season, this is the next opponent that we got to play against. A very good opponent. We understand that. It's a very good football team. Anytime you get into the playoffs, and you know that you're gonna have to run into the Kansas City Chiefs because of what they have on offense and just the team in general. So we understand that, but I think at the end of the day, we had to prepare accordingly to go out there and play our best game no matter who it is. And this week it's Kansas City Chiefs.
Well,
You did try. I shut it down quick. I interrupted you to shut it down.
I know, when we talked to you after the last game, and you said since you started playing football in 7th grade, you always are thinking about shutting the team out.
Mm-hmm.
Does the mindset at all change when you're playing against such a dynamic offense, and maybe accepting that every once in a while they're going to hit on a big play, and that's okay as long as you bend but don't break? Is that fair, or is it still like no?
For sure. I mean, you want to go into a game and have a shutout. How realistic is it to shut out the Kansas City Chiefs? Has that ever happened with the Mahomes era? I don't know. I mean, that's for you guys to look up. But you know, I think what you said best is bend, don't break. They're going to get their yards. They're going to get their plays. They have dynamic players all over the field. They can take the top off. We got to make them nickel and dime us the whole way down the field and try to force some takeaways or field goals. I think that's how we're going to get out of Kansas City with the win.
With that being said, forcing takeaways, on the other side, Josh and the offense, they've done a pretty good job at capitalizing on the takeaways that you guys get. Just how much of a boost is that when you not only force a turnover, but then the offense can score right away from that?
Yeah, it's huge. It's huge. Like I said, this game is all about momentum. Momentum swings. And, when you have the momentum, you got to take advantage of it. When you don't, you got to try to find a way to get it back. So when we get takeaways, the offense goes out there and scores. The momentum's on our side. Keep trying to capitalize on it. So, anytime our offense go out there and get a score after a takeaway is ideal, and we're going to continue to try to take the ball away so they can do that.
When you're looking at film, what do you notice about, like, the Chiefs have given the ball away 7 times so far this season. Mahomes has 4 interceptions, kind of uncharacteristic for him, especially this early in the season. Just what have you seen in those situations when you're looking at the film? Like, why are they having these issues? Or why do you think, or why when you look at it?
Kind of like we talk about every week. Anytime, we had a rookie quarterback last week. We had I guess a backup quarterback, but I wouldn't call him a backup the week before. Anytime you have any type of quarterback, it could be a 20-year vet, you try to affect the quarterback. You try to get pressure on him, and I think that the plays that he's threw some interceptions on, he had pressure in his face. So I think affecting the quarterback is what we're trying to do, and anytime you can do that, you have opportunities to get some takeaways.
I think it was last week you were talking about watching Patrick Mahomes on film, and you just said it was jaw-dropping.
Mm-hmm.
And the defensive coordinator said they stay up at night.
Yeah.
He's been doing it now for a few years. Is it almost like you're just numb to it? Like, here's another incredible play by Mahomes. Like, is it just like, here he is?
Yeah, 100%. And then when you're playing against him, it's kind of the same thing. Like, it's gonna happen. Move on to the next play. You gotta flush it and move on, because he's doing it a lot. He's doing it every single game, and with the offense and the weapons that they have, you gotta have a short memory.
What kind of switch in mindset is it to accept some of these things, accept that plays are going to be made, accept points are going to be scored by a team? Because obviously you don't ever want it to happen, the goal, but with certain offenses, and it appears this one, you just know it's going to happen. How do you almost prepare for that and accept it?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of tough. We're all stubborn in a sense. We're all alpha males out here trying to not give up a first down, not give up a yard. And then when you have a team that's lighting up the scoreboard, just year after year, it's proven that they can put up some points. You kind of got to go into the game and limit their big plays. I know I keep saying this, but it's all about limiting their big plays, make them nickel and dime us down the field, and then try to take the ball away, force field goals. That's the formula that you have to try to do to win the ball game.
What did you learn from both games last season? I know it's a new year, it's a new team. The key horses, though, over there are the same, and Mahomes, Kelsey, and Hill, and Hilaire. I mean, what did you learn? Because it appeared it was 2 different approaches from the regular season game and the championship.
What did I learn? I learned that they do have an explosive offense. They have a bunch of weapons that can get it done. I don't feel like we played our best game in either one of those. Just watching the film, giving up some big plays I feel like we shouldn't have. But I think that at the end of the day is if we play our best, and we have a great shot at trying to win this ball game.